Welcome to this earth.
The man in the high castle. Game 1 took 58 minutes to settle in the Spurs' favor. What would Game 2 give us? Spurs and Thunder back at it in OKC. That guy would come out to play. Quieter game for Wemby on this one. Early second quarter, Wembanyama to Castle, and there it is, the savage, vicious throwdown. Castle 6'6", giving up a half a foot on Isaiah Hartenstein. Look at that beautiful shot of it right there. Wemby can't believe it. Here's how it's sending to the folks in San Antonio.
Castle, he goes to work. Castle, oh my goodness! In the face of Isaiah Hartenstein with a right-hand tomahawk slam. Man!
Yeah, even Reggie excited. But the champs can take a punch. Casey Wallace picks off Castle's pass. Alex Caruso to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not quite as spectacular as Castle, but still worth 2 points. OKC up by 7. Mark Dagnall switched it up a bit. He told Hartenstein, just go maul Wemby for as long as you can. And he did a great job on him defensively. The turnover here. And then on the other end, SGA. Patented fadeaway baseline. Wemby had a few turnovers in the first half. Big news, Jalen Williams, J-Dub left again. More hamstring trouble, this time the left hammy. OKC up 11 at the half, third quarter. Wemby stepping into his three. Ties this game at 66. Some nervous people in Oklahoma City. Then Wemby drives, misses, but gets his own rebound. Did that a couple times tonight. It's not something normal humans can do. Spurs down 1 at that point. And then SGA working Dylan Harper. He misses. Harper collides with Chet Holmgren. And he would go down awfully hard. And he would not come back. Heads to the locker room. Did not return. Big loss for the Spurs. SGA just turning poor Carter Bryant around. Listen, it's happened to a lot of guys, Carter. That's just kind of mean-spirited from SGA. Great move. Thunder up by 8. And then Holmgren coming baseline. He had 13. All sorts of fired up. OKC up 10. They led by 8 going into the fourth. And then Hartenstein gives it to Jared McCain. Loves the 3-ball. How about that? Off the window. Wow. Off some iron.
Gotta touch it all.
Pretty good. And then Wemby coming back. He had 21 and 17 rebounds in this game, but San Antonio down 5. And then the clutch player of the year, SGA, step back. Book it. Everyone just calm down. Calm down. I got this. I got this. Alex Caruso, another big game. 17 points. The Thunder win to even things up at a game apiece. Here's SGA. What a difference a day makes.
This late in the season, like, it's nothing special that you can do. Like, every team has their identity, and when they impose their identity more than the other team does, they usually win, no matter what level or what stakes are in the game. And tonight we just did a better job of that than we did in the first game, and that's probably why we came out on top. Now the circumstances change and force you to focus on your identity more. And I think tonight we just had no chance but to play to our strengths, or else just to give ourselves the best shot to win tonight. And that's something like you go back and forth with in the playoffs. Like, just like naturally speaking, waking up this morning, we were probably more desperate than they were. Like just naturally, because we had to get this game or else we go on the road down 0-2. So yeah, some of it was that, but nonetheless, you still have to go out there and do the job, and I think the guys did that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I tell you what, it's tough to beat the Thunder regardless. It's even tougher to beat them twice in a row. OKC has now won 9 straight playoff games following the loss. That's the longest streak by any team since LeBron's Heat squad from 2012 to 2014. Here's Mitch Johnson, who's running out of point guards.
You know, obviously this team is as good as anybody at turning you over. So when you're down some of your primary creators and initiators, it causes a little bit of an extra strain, whether that's who to play, what to run, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll just have to be sharper in that area because it's tough, fully loaded against these guys. So we obviously 27 points off turnovers is not a winning formula.
See somebody go out mid-game kind of gives you a little bit more, motivation to kind of do it for them. But I feel like coming into the game, we kind of had the same mindset, with Fox out. So, obviously, one person can't make up for what Fox or, somebody else can't make up for what, Dill brings for us. So, just trying to do it as a team.
When I mean a straight effort is, like the tactics, we all know it by heart, but we have to, doesn't mean it's easy, and we have to work through it.
We're joined now by Stephen A. Hey, Stephen A., we saw Mark Daigneault make some chess moves. He had Isaiah Hartenstein leaning on Wemby all night, held him to about half of what he had in game one. And then SGA comes through with 30 points, 50% shooting from the floor. What did you see out of the back-to-back MVP in game two?
Well, you needed to see the level of aggression that he showed. The fact is that he hasn't been himself. He's been a league MVP, averaging over 30 points over the last 4 seasons, particularly the last 2. He's been an unstoppable force, Mr. Mid-range himself, can hit the 3 when necessary, definitely can finish at the basket. You didn't see that level of efficiency and that level of aggression, particularly in game 1. He came out tonight looking for his shot, recognizing the urgency of the moment, because had Oklahoma City fallen down 0-2 in this series, it's over. You're not coming back from that and beating this particular San Antonio Spurs team led by this particular alien named Victor Wembanyama. You're not coming back from an 0-2 deficit, having to win 4 or 5 games, and the first 2 of them was going to be in San Antonio. That was not going to work out. So they needed to win this game. They needed to be led by the league MVP, and sure enough, that's exactly what he did tonight, scoring 15 points in each half, only attempting 6 free throws, so hitting most of his shots from the field, obviously holding on to the ball, not turning it over and things of that nature. He was efficient tonight. He was the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander we all know and love.
Well, and Stephen A., as you just mentioned, that 0-2 deficit would be a hard hole to dig out of, but the Thunder did win game 2. So how do you like this Oklahoma City team as the series moves to San Antonio?
Well, I mean, it's still tough because San Antonio won't go away. They're just tough. Victor Wembanyama is who he is. He had 4 blocks tonight, 21.17 rebounds. But when you take into account Stephon Castle, everybody's looking at the amount of turnovers, 11 in one game, 9 in another. That's 20 turnovers in 2 games. That is not good at all. But he's not really your point guard. De'Aaron Fox is your point guard. And you've got to believe that De'Aaron Fox eventually will show his face in this series and he'll be able to work through that ankle injury he's suffering from. But Stephon Castle is not necessarily your quintessential point guard. He's an off guard, real big, very, very strong, pushes people around, stout defender, rough and tumble, really goes after it, had 25 points and was pretty difficult to stop. And then you see some of the other pieces that they have. Champagnie, obviously, is a big deal. You've got to pay attention to him. You got to pay attention to Keldon Johnson coming off the bench to reign the 6th man of the year and what he brings to the table. They've got size, they've got athleticism, and they are tough. They're not backing down. Oklahoma seems to know this, having lost 5 of 6 to San Antonio coming into this game. But if Shea Butter answers the call the way that he did, and the strategy of having Hartenstein leaning on Victor Wembanyama and putting a body on him and getting away with it as much as he did in game 2, then the chances for OKC obviously drastically improve for them to at least steal 1 game.
Hey, this was a consequential game in another respect, and that's that there were 2 key injuries in this game, one for each side. OKC lost J-Dub again with a hamstring injury. We don't know the severity of that. And then Dylan Harper left as well, Stephen A. Bigger hit to which team if those guys can't play?
It's really tough to call because I walked into this series believing that J-Dub had to be available for Oklahoma City in order for them to win this series. But Harper, look at the way he played in game 1, 24, 11, and 7, if I remember correctly. And then to be the kind of player that he is, again, you see the other guys coming off the bench and producing for San Antonio, and you know they've got some bodies. But does that compare to Wallace and McCain and Mitchell and these guys coming off the bench for Oklahoma City in the absence of Jalen Williams? I think that gives Oklahoma City a slight edge in this series against San Antonio. I think Harper's a bigger loss, and that would facilitate Oklahoma City being able to steal one of these games 3 or 4.
Spurs and Thunder with a game apiece, game 3 Friday in San Antonio. Stephen A. Smith, thanks as always for the insight.